a girl's audacious quest to save her ailing mother. In the shadow of Chicago's towering apex dynamics, where glass and steel pierce the clouds, a 12-year-old girl named Lily Bennett steps into a world that chews up dreams and spits out despair. Her mother, Claire, lies in a hospital bed, her lungs ravaged by cancer. Each breath a battle against a $300,000 medical debt. With no insurance and time slipping like sand, Lily dons her mother's oversized blazer, its sleeves swallowing her small hands, and clutches a resume that holds her family's last hope. She's not just a child. She's a warrior storming a corporate fortress to face Eleanor Hart, a CEO whose heart froze after losing her own family. Apex's lobby gleams with ruthless ambition, but Lily's love burns brighter. As security looms in executive sneer, she squares her shoulders, her young voice steady with desperate courage. Will she pierce Eleanor's icy armor, or will her audacious gamble crumble under corporate cruelty? This isn't just a job interview. It's a clash of heartbreak and hope, where a girl's unbreakable spirit dares to rewrite a family's fate. Drop a heart below if you believe miracles can rise from the ashes of impossibility. The 52nd floor of Apex Dynamics in Chicago's Loop buzzed with a sterile hum, a symphony of ambition conducted by Eleanor Hart. The 40-year-old CEO whose name was synonymous with unrelenting precision. Her office, a glass-walled cathedral of power, overlooked a city that never slept. Its skyline a jagged testament to her empire. At Apex, efficiency was God, and Eleanor was its high priestess. Her auburn hair, pulled into a severe bun, framed steel blue eyes that missed nothing, every missed deadline, every faltering employee, every whisper of dissent. For years ago, she'd taken the helm after a personal tragedy, transforming Apex into a machine that churned out profits while crushing weakness. Employees called her the glacier behind her back, a nickname earned through terminations as swift as guillotine blades. This Tuesday morning, the executive boardroom crackled with tension. 7 senior managers sat rigid, their quarterly reports trembling in their hands. Eleanor entered without preamble, her tailored navy suit sharp enough to cut through fog. Results, she demanded, her voice a winter wind. One by one, she dissected their performances with surgical detachment. Carson, revenue dipped 8%. Unacceptable. Terminated. Lopez, client acquisition stalled. Out. The room shrank with each verdict, her decisions final as death. No one dared mention the human cost, family strained, dreams deferred, because Eleanor had no patience for sentiment. Her assistant, Nora Wells, watched from the doorway, her brow creased with worry. She'd seen Eleanor's transformation from a warm leader to this icy monarch. A shift rooted in a loss so profound it had rewritten her soul. For years earlier, Eleanor's husband, Michael, and their 6-year-old daughter, Ava, had perished in a car crash. Michael, a rising star at a rival firm, had been racing home from a late meeting, Ava asleep in the back seat. A drunk driver's red light violation ended their lives in a scream of metal and glass. Eleanor survived by encasing her heart in ice, building Apex into a fortress where personal ties were liabilities, family-friendly policies, weakness, flexible hours, complacency. She'd purged them all, creating a culture where loyalty to Apex trumped everything else. The boardroom silence was broken by Nora's hesitant voice. Ms. Hart, the Wellness Committee requests a meeting about employee mental health. Eleanor's jaw tightened. Denied. We don't coddle fragility. The committee's proposal, childcare support, therapy resources, felt like an assault on her carefully constructed world. She stood, signaling the meeting's end, but a flicker of pain crossed her face, so brief only Nora noticed. It was the ghost of Ava's laughter, the memory of Michael's gentle promises, buried but never gone. Eleanor's empire was flawless, but its foundation was grief. And grief has a way of cracking even the strongest walls. Across Chicago, in a cramped apartment in Pilsen, another story was unfolding, one that would collide with Eleanor's fortress like a meteor. Claire Bennett, a 38-year-old data analyst, was fighting a battle measured not in profits, but in survival. Her daughter, Lily, was about to become the spark that would either melt Eleanor's ice or be crushed by it. In a dim Pilsen apartment, where peeling wallpaper told stories of better days, Claire Bennett pressed a trembling hand to her chest, each cough a jagged reminder of her unraveling life. At 38, the data analyst's once vibrant spirit was fading. her lungs besieged by stage 4 lung cancer. Diagnosed 6 months ago, she'd hidden the truth from her 12-year-old daughter, Lily, until a hospital bill, $300,000 and climbing, made denial impossible. The startup she'd poured her soul into had collapsed, taking her insurance with it. Now, eviction notices cluttered the kitchen counter, and Claire's inhaler sat empty, a silent accusation of her failure to provide. Lily, with her mother's hazel eyes and a heart too big for her small frame, noticed everything. She'd caught Claire's winces, the way her mother's hands shook when sorting bills. At night, Lily overheard Claire's whispered prayers, not for herself, but for Lily's future. 3 years ago, Claire's husband had walked out, chasing a new life that didn't include them. He'd left behind divorce papers and a daughter who learned to read pain like a survival guide. "Mom, you're coughing again," she said softly, standing in the doorway, her braid frayed from restless sleep. "I'm fine, sweetheart," Claire lied, forcing a smile that cracked under the weight of her fatigue. She closed her laptop. Another 14-hour day spent freelancing for pennies, her fingers numb from typing. The hospital had called that morning. Without surgery within 72 hours, her prognosis was weeks, not months. Lily pattered across the worn carpet, her oversized pajamas a hand-me-down from their neighbor, Mrs. Harper. "I made you tea," she offered, presenting a chipped mug with solemn care. Claire's heart clenched, not from the cancer, but from love. When had her daughter become her caretaker? "You should be asleep," Claire murmured, sipping the tea. "So should you," Lily countered, perching on the couch's arm. Her eyes, too old for 12, studied her mother. "Mrs. Harper says you need that surgery." Claire sighed. Mrs. Harper, the widowed retiree next door, had become their guardian angel, bringing casseroles and helping with homework. But surgery cost money they didn't have. "Mrs. Harper worries too much," Claire said gently, dodging the truth. Lily wasn't fooled. She'd found the hospital bills, the red-stamped warnings, the doctor's notes about palliative care. At school, she'd overheard classmates talk about Apex Dynamics, Chicago's corporate titan with salaries starting at $150,000 and health benefits that covered miracles, cancer treatments, transplants, emergencies. "Apex pays the best, Mom. Their insurance could save you." Claire nearly choked on her tea. "Since when did 12-year-olds research corporate benefits?" "Since my mom started coughing like she's drowning," Lily said, her voice sharp with fear she couldn't hide. "I'm not going anywhere," Claire promised, pulling Lily close. But the words felt hollow. Her latest freelance gig had dried up, and the pain in her chest was a constant fire. Tomorrow, she had a consultation at Mercy Hospital, a formality before the inevitable. She just had to hold on one more day, one more hour, pretending her body wasn't betraying her. But Lily's eyes held a fire Claire hadn't seen before, a determination that scared her. In the flickering glow of a hospital waiting room, Lily Bennett sat cross-legged on a plastic chair, her mother's laptop balanced on her knees. Mercy Hospital's sterile walls couldn't dim the fire in her 12-year-old heart. Claire's latest scan had confirmed the worst. Without surgery in 72 hours, the cancer would win. The cost, $300,000, was a number that mocked their reality. Lily's fingers flew across the keyboard, diving into Apex Dynamics' digital world. She'd overheard classmates rave about its benefits: full medical coverage, emergency surgeries, even experimental treatments. If Claire could work there, they'd survive. But Claire was sedated in the ICU, her breath shallow, leaving Lily to fight alone. Lily opened Claire's resume, memorizing every line. Master's in Data Science, University of Chicago. 8 years experience in predictive analytics. Streamlined operations for 3 firms, saving $4 million. The jargon felt like a foreign language, but Lily practiced it like a spell. She scoured Apex's website, its sleek design screaming wealth. Salaries from $150,000 to $250,000. Immediate health benefits for critical hires. Employee testimonials glowed. Cancer treatments covered. Families saved. Lily whispered, "Mom's perfect for them." But Claire couldn't apply, so Lily would. Her plan was insane. Infiltrate Apex Dynamics, reach CEO Eleanor Hart, and pitch Claire's skills. She'd studied Eleanor online. Net worth $500 million, a reputation for crushing dreams. Articles called her ruthless, brilliant, untouchable. Lily didn't care. She'd face the glacier herself. Mrs. Harper, dozing nearby, stirred. Lily, sweetheart, what are you doing? Research, Lily said, closing the laptop. Mrs. Harper's sewing kit lay on the table. Can you alter Mom's blazer for me? An hour later, in the hospital bathroom, Lily stood before a cracked mirror, the navy blazer pinned to fit her small frame. Mrs. Harper adjusted the collar, her hands trembling. Where are you going, child? To save Mom, Lily said, practicing the confident posture she'd seen in movies. Mrs. Harper, tomorrow. Tell the nurses I'm at the cafeteria if they ask. Mrs. Harper's eyes widened. Lily Bennett, what's your plan? Lily met her gaze in the mirror, her young face set with a resolve that chilled the older woman. I'm getting Mom a job that'll pay for her surgery. The audacity bordered on madness, but Lily had no choice. She memorized bus routes, Pills into the Loop, 37 minutes. Apex's address, 875 North Michigan Avenue, burned in her mind. She'd arrive at 9 a.m. when executives swarmed. At 2 a.m. Lily knelt by Claire's ICU bed, the monitors beeping a fragile rhythm. I know you'd say this is crazy, Mom, she whispered, clutching Claire's cold hand. But you taught me to fight for what matters. She tucked a note into Mrs. Harper's bag. Gone to save Mom. Back by noon. Don't worry. Lily counted $29 from Claire's wallet, enough for bus fare. She photographed Claire's ID and medical records. Backups for her mission. Her reflection looked too young, but confidence, she'd learned, trumped age. Tomorrow, she'd walk into Apex Dynamics, a 12-year-old in a world of wolves. Armed with love and a resume. On the 50th floor of Apex Dynamics, where ambition festered like a hidden wound, Richard Voss and Olivia Crane plotted in a darkened conference room. Their voices low as vipers. Richard, the 45-year-old CFO, adjusted his platinum cufflinks, his hawkish eyes glinting with predatory intent. Olivia, 41, Apex's HR manager, leaned forward, her manicured nails tapping a dossier labeled Eleanor Hart, instability profile. For months, they'd watched their CEO's cracks widen, her trembling hands during terminations, her abrupt exits from family policy discussions. Eleanor's grief, a private scar from losing her husband and daughter, was their weapon to seize control. Her latest rejection of the wellness program is perfect, Richard said, sliding a tablet across the mahogany table. Productivity up 25%, but she's alienating the board with her isolation. Olivia nodded, her smile cold. She crafted Apex's punitive policies, mandatory overtime, penalties for family leave, that mirrored Eleanor's hatred of weakness. Employees like Sarah Klein missed their kids' recitals. David Moore skipped his wife's surgery. Turnover was low because Apex's salaries, $150,000 minimum, were unmatched, but resentment simmered. We've got 5 board votes, Olivia said. 2 more, and we force her on medical leave. Their plan was meticulous. Richard fed the board's skewed financials, painting Eleanor's leadership as erratic. Olivia documented her emotional lapses, a paused meeting when a child's photo appeared on a screen, a coffee spill during a family policy debate. She's unraveling, Richard said, scrolling through a timeline. Yesterday, she fled when an intern mentioned her son's birthday. Olivia's eyes gleamed. I've scheduled a Bring Your Kid to Work demo next week. If she melts down publicly, the board will act. Richard's laugh was ice. We're saving Apex from a broken woman. Eleanor's trauma was their leverage. For years ago, her husband, Michael, and daughter, Ava, died in a crash caused by a drunk driver. Eleanor's response was to purge Apex of anything resembling the corporate culture that demanded Michael's late nights. But in her quest to protect, she'd become the monster, demanding 80-hour weeks, punishing parents for school pickups. Richard and Olivia didn't care about her pain. They saw a throne to claim. Her hand shook during Klein's termination, Olivia noted, adding a photo of the coffee spill to their file. Erratic behavior, documented. Their conspiracy thrived in Apex's shadows. Richard met board member Gerald Stein at a private club, hinting at Eleanor's instability. Olivia coached managers to report Eleanor's flinches, each a nail in her coffin. Timing's critical, Richard said. The quarterly board meetings in 10 days. 1 public breakdown, and she's gone. Olivia stacked papers. I'll ensure the kid demos front and center. She'll crack. Neither suspected their scheme was about to collide with a force they couldn't predict. The Apex Dynamics lobby at 875 North Michigan Avenue gleamed like a corporate cathedral, its marble floors reflecting chandeliers that hung like frozen stars. At 9:15 a.m., Lily Bennett stepped through the revolving doors, her mother's oversized blazer swallowing her 12-year-old frame. Her heart hammered, but her chin was high. Claire's resume clutched like a shield. Executives in tailored suits flowed past, their briefcases swinging, oblivious to the girl infiltrating their world. Lily's dress shoes, stuffed with tissue, clicked unevenly, but she walked with the confidence of someone who belonged. She'd timed her arrival perfectly, catching the morning rush to reach Eleanor Hart. The receptionist, a woman in her 30s with a polished smile, looked up from her desk. "Can I help you, honey?" Her tone was for lost children, not warriors. Lily squared her shoulders, channeling every business movie she'd seen. "Good morning. I'm here to see Ms. Hart regarding an urgent employment matter for Claire Bennett." The receptionist blinked, her smile faltering as she processed the disconnect between Lily's words and her child's face. "Employment? Are you with an adult?" Lily's voice stayed steady. "MS. Bennett is in Mercy Hospital with lung cancer. I'm representing her. Her qualifications are exceptional. Master's in data science, 8 years experience. Time is critical." The receptionist's confusion morphed into alarm. "I need to call security," she said, reaching for her phone. "That's fine," Lily replied, her poise unshaken, "but I request 5 minutes with MS. Hart first. This benefits Apex." Across the lobby, elevator doors chimed, and Lily's peripheral vision caught a figure emerging. Eleanor Hart stood 20 feet away, her navy suit immaculate, her steel blue eyes scanning the scene. The air shifted, heavy with her presence. The security guard approached, his hand on his radio, but Eleanor's raised palm stopped him. "What's happening?" Her voice sliced through the lobby's hum, sharp as glass. Lily turned, extending a trembling hand. "Ms. Hart, I'm Lily Bennett, representing Claire Bennett for immediate employment. Thank you for your time." Eleanor stared, her expression unreadable. In 40 years, no one had dared approach her with such a bizarre blend of innocence and audacity. "You're 12, she stated, ignoring the handshake. "Yes, ma'am. My mother's 38, in ICU with stage 4 cancer. Surgeries needed in 72 hours. Her insurance lapsed when her startup failed." Something flickered in Eleanor's eyes, grief, recognition, but it vanished. "This is irregular," she said, her tone ice. "So is watching your mom die because of money," Lily countered, her voice cracking, revealing the frightened child beneath. The lobby hushed, executives pausing mid-stride. "I've researched Apex for days. You hire the best. Moms save companies $4 million with her analytics. You're Chicago's most powerful CEO. Please." Eleanor's jaw tightened. Every instinct screamed to end this farce, but Lily's words, about mothers, about miracles, struck a buried chord. 5 minutes, Eleanor said abruptly. "My office. Security, stand by." Lily's face lit with hope so raw it stung to witness. As they moved toward the elevator, the receptionist whispered into her phone, and the guard trailed close. In Eleanor Hart's glass-walled office on the 52nd floor, the Chicago skyline stretched endlessly. But the room's gravity centered on a 12-year-old girl and a CEO whose heart had been ice for 4 years. Lily Bennett sat across from Eleanor. Claire's resume spread between them like a fragile bridge. The silence was heavy, broken only by the distant hum of the city below. Eleanor's steel blue eyes studied the documents with professional detachment, but her fingers betrayed her, trembling slightly as they traced Claire's qualifications. "Your mother's record is strong," she said, her voice clipped. "Masters from Chicago, for $1 million in savings for past employers. Impressive. But this," she gestured at Lily, "this is desperation. Desperation doesn't mean hopeless." Lily replied softly, her hazel eyes locking onto Eleanor's. The words hit like a thunderclap. For years ago, Eleanor's husband, Michael, had said the same when they dreamed of Ava's future, before a crash stole them both. Lily's courage, her unwavering love, was a mirror to Eleanor's buried pain. She leaned back, her composure cracking. "You took a bus alone to convince me to hire an unconscious woman?" "Yes, ma'am," Lily said. "Mom taught me that love means fighting, no matter the odds." Eleanor's mind flashed to Ava, 6 years old, clutching a stuffed giraffe, her laughter filling their old apartment. She saw Michael exhausted from late nights, promising just one more year at his soul-crushing job. The crash had ended those promises, and Eleanor had built Apex to erase that world, only to become its worst reflection. Lily's voice pulled her back. "Miss Hart, can I ask something?" Eleanor nodded, bracing herself. "Do you have kids?" The question was a dagger, slicing through years of defenses. Eleanor's throat tightened, her office blurring as memories flooded in Ava's bedtime stories. Michael's gentle hugs, all lost to a drunk driver's recklessness. "I had a daughter," Eleanor whispered, the words raw. "Ava. She was 6. My husband, Michael, they died in a car accident." Lily's expression softened, her young wisdom piercing. "What happened?" Eleanor's voice broke. "Michael was rushing home from work. A meeting ran late. I should have. I built Apex to stop that families torn apart by work. But I became the monster." The admission hung like smoke. Lily leaned forward. "If Ava could see you now, what would she want?" Eleanor froze. Ava's laughter echoed in her mind, her tiny hand tugging Eleanor's sleeve. "Save them, Mommy." The ice around Eleanor's heart cracked, shards falling as she saw herself in Lily, a soul fighting for love against impossible odds. She'd spent years punishing families, believing it protected them, but Lily's presence exposed the lie. "Your mother," Eleanor said, her voice unsteady. "She's in ICU now?" Lily nodded, tears brimming. "Surgery's $300,000. We have 72 hours. Eleanor's hands shook. Not from weakness, but from an awakening. Lily's love was a flame, melting the glacier. The office felt smaller, the corporate armor suffocating. As Eleanor's hand hovered over her phone, ready to call Mercy Hospital, the glass door of her office burst open. Richard Voss strode in, his platinum cufflinks glinting like daggers, Olivia Crane at his side, her smile a venomous curve. The air thickened with menace. Lily, still seated, clutched Claire's resume, her 12-year-old frame dwarfed by the corporate predators. "Eleanor, we need to talk," Richard said. His voice smooth but lethal. The boards convened an emergency session downstairs. "Your leadership's under review." Olivia's eyes flicked to Lily, calculating. "And what's this? A child in your office? Another sign of instability?" Eleanor's pulse quickened, but Lily's presence anchored her. She stood, her navy suit a shield. "This is Lily Bennett, representing her mother. A candidate for immediate hire. Your timing's poor, Richard." His laugh was cold. "Poor? You're entertaining a kid while Apex teeters. The board's seen your lapses, coffee spills, meeting walkouts, rejecting wellness programs. You're unraveling." Olivia slid a tablet across the desk, displaying a dossier, timestamps of Eleanor's flinches, photos of her trembling hands, board members' concerns. 7 votes for medical leave, she said. "We're 1 incident away." Lily's voice cut through, small but fierce. "Ms. Hart's helping my mom. She's in ICU, dying. This isn't about you." Richard's gaze snapped to her, predatory. "Sweetheart, adults are talking. Your mother's irrelevant." Eleanor's fists clenched. Ava's face flashed in her mind. 6 years old, defenseless. "Enough," she snapped. "Lily's mother is a data analyst with $4 million in proven savings. Apex needs her. Step aside." Richard smirked. "The board's watching, Eleanor. This stunt with a kid? It's your final mistake." The intercom buzzed. Nora Wells' voice trembled. "Ms. Hart, the board's demanding you downstairs now. They've got live feeds from your office." Olivia's eyes gleamed. She'd orchestrated the surveillance. Lily's gamble had walked her into a trap, and Eleanor's awakening was fuel for Richard's coup. "You're finished," he said, turning to leave. "The board will vote within the hour." Lily stood, her blazer slipping off one shoulder. "You're wrong. Ms. Hart's the best CEO in Chicago. She's saving my mom because it's right." Eleanor's heart pounded. Lily's faith was a lifeline, but Richard's ambush had raised the stakes. If she faced the board now, her emotional cracks, exposed by Lily's courage, could cost her everything. Yet Claire's life hung in the balance, 72 hours ticking down. "Lily, stay here," Eleanor said, her voice steady despite the storm. "Nora, get Mercy Hospital on the line. Authorize Claire Bennett's surgery under Apex's emergency clause." Richard spun back, incredulous. "You're hiring a dying woman? This is madness." Eleanor met his gaze, her ice melting into resolve. "It's humanity." As Richard and Olivia stormed out, Lily grabbed Eleanor's hand. Thank you, she whispered, tears falling. Eleanor knelt, Ava's memory softening her edges. You're braver than I've ever been. But the boardroom loomed. A battlefield where Richard's dossier could enter reign. The boardroom on the 48th floor of Apex Dynamics crackled with tension, its mahogany table a battleground. Eleanor stood at its head. Her navy suit pristine, but her steel blue eyes burning with a fire not seen in years. 12 board members stared, their expressions a mix of doubt and anticipation. Richard Voss and Olivia Crane seated smugly among them. Lily waited upstairs, her 12-year-old heart tethered to her mother's fate. Richard had just presented his dossier, Eleanor's instability laid bare, coffee spills, meeting walkouts, and now, a child in her office. She's unfit, he declared. Apex demands stability. Eleanor's voice cut through, steady as stone. Stability isn't built on cruelty. I've made a decision that defines Apex's future. She paused, Ava's laughter echoing in her mind. Claire Bennett, a data analyst with $4 million in proven savings, is hired effective immediately. Apex will cover her $300,000 cancer surgery, starting today. Gasps rippled through the room. Richard's face twisted. This is reckless. A dying woman? You're gambling Apex's reputation on a sob story. Olivia chimed in, her voice honeyed poison. And entertaining a child? It's unprofessional, Eleanor. Unprofessional. Eleanor's tone was ice-meeting fire. Claire's skills are unmatched. Her daughter, Lily, showed more courage than anyone here, walking into our fortress to save her mother. That's the Apex I want. She turned to the board. For 4 years, I've run Apex like a machine, punishing families to protect them from the pain I endured. My husband and daughter died because of a corporate culture I swore to destroy. Instead, I rebuilt it. No more. Richard stood, slamming the table. You're admitting failure. The board won't stand for this emotional collapse. Eleanor's gaze didn't waver. I'm admitting truth. Apex's policies, mandatory overtime, family penalties, have broken our people. Sarah Klein misses her daughter's recitals. David Morse skipped his wife's surgery. That ends now. She slid a document across the table. A new policy framework, flexible hours, childcare support, mental health resources. This is Apex's future. Profit with humanity. The board murmured, some nodding, others glancing at Richard, whose dossier now seemed petty. Olivia tried to pivot. These changes cost millions. Shareholders will revolt. Shareholders want sustainability, Eleanor countered. Happy employees drive profits. Claire's hire proves we value talent, not just numbers. She faced Richard directly. Your ambush fails. Apex isn't your throne. The board chair, Gerald Stein, cleared his throat. Eleanor, this is bold, but your recent behavior, documented, raises concerns. Eleanor nodded, expecting this. Judge me by my actions today. Claire's surgery is authorized. Lily's courage reminded me who I am. Vote now, me or Richard's vision of fear. The room stilled. Hands rose slowly, 8 for Eleanor, for Richard's motion. His face paled as Olivia's smile vanished. Eleanor exhaled. The weight of years lifting. Upstairs, Nora relayed the news to Mercy Hospital. Claire's surgery was greenlit. Lily's gamble had not only saved her mother, but had toppled a conspiracy. Back in her office, Eleanor stood before the floor-to-ceiling windows, Chicago's skyline a reminder of the empire she'd nearly lost. Lily sat nearby, her oversized blazer folded, her hazel eyes wide with hope. The board's vote had secured Eleanor's leadership, but the victory felt hollow without action. She'd hired Claire, authorized her $300,000 surgery, and defeated Richard Voss's coup, but Lily's courage demanded more, a legacy beyond profits. Eleanor turned, Ava's memory a gentle push. Lily, you've changed everything, she said. Her voice soft but resolute. Now, I need to fix what I've broken. She summoned the board back, this time with a public address streamed to all 3,000 Apex employees. Standing at the podium, Eleanor faced the camera, her navy suit no longer armor, but a canvas for change. 4 years ago, I lost my husband, Michael, and daughter, Ava. To a corporate culture that valued deadlines over lives, she began, her voice steady but raw. I built Apex to protect families, but I failed you. I created policies that forced you to choose between work and love. Sarah Klein missing recitals, David Morse abandoning his wife's bedside. I was wrong. The boardroom was silent. Gerald Stein's eyes softening. Employees watching from their desks leaned closer, some tearing up. Today, I hired Claire Bennett, a brilliant analyst fighting cancer, because her daughter, Lily, reminded me what courage means, Eleanor continued. Effective immediately, Apex adopts a new framework. Flexible schedules, on-site childcare, mental health support, and family emergency leave. We'll fund Claire's surgery and ensure no employee faces her crisis alone. Murmurs of shock and relief rippled through the feed. Richard Voss, relegated to the back, glowered. His dossier now irrelevant. Eleanor's next words were a gauntlet. To the board, I offer transparency. My grief shaped my mistakes, but Lily's love showed me the way forward. Judge me by this. Apex will lead with humanity. She presented a detailed plan, $10 million for employee wellness, partnerships with local hospitals, and a task force to dismantle punitive policies. The board voted unanimously to approve, swayed by her conviction and the employee cheers echoing from the stream. Olivia Crane slipped out, her influence shattered. Eleanor returned to Lily, who clutched a hospital update. Claire's surgery was scheduled for noon. You're not just saving Mom, Lily said, her voice trembling. You're saving everyone. Eleanor knelt, Ava's giraffe flashing in her mind. You saved me, Lily. She tasked Nora with drafting a company-wide memo, ensuring every employee knew their families mattered. Richard's office was cleared by security, his coup a footnote. Eleanor visited Ava's untouched bedroom that night, her stuffed animals dusty but sacred. For the first time in years, she cried, not from loss, but from purpose. Apex's stock dipped 3% the next day, but employee morale soared, productivity climbing as loyalty replaced fear. Eleanor met with Claire's doctors, ensuring full coverage for recovery and future care. At Mercy Hospital, the ICU's fluorescent lights cast a sterile glow, but warmth filled the waiting room where Eleanor and Lily sat, hands clasped. Claire's surgery, a 6-hour battle against lung cancer, had just ended. Dr. Ramirez emerged, his mask lowered, a tired smile breaking through. She's stable. The tumor's out. Apex's coverage ensured we used the best team. Lily's sob of relief echoed, her 12-year-old frame collapsing into Eleanor's arms. She's going to live? Lily whispered. Eleanor? Her steel blue eyes misty, nodded. Your mom's a fighter, like you. For the first time in 4 years, Eleanor felt Ava's presence not as pain but as peace. Lily rushed to Claire's bedside, where monitors traced a steady rhythm. Claire, pale but alive, opened her eyes, her voice weak. Lily, you're here. Lily clutched her hand, tears falling. I got you a job, Mom. At Apex. They paid for everything. Claire's gaze shifted to Eleanor, standing quietly behind. You did this. Eleanor knelt, her voice thick. Your daughter did. She stormed my office. Reminded me what matters. I'm sorry for the world I built. This is my start to fix it. Claire squeezed Lily's hand, a faint smile breaking through. My brave girl. Eleanor had ensured Apex's insurance covered not just the surgery, but Claire's recovery, physical therapy, follow-up scans, even counseling for Lily. She'd assigned Claire a senior analyst role, starting when she was ready, with a $180,000 salary and full benefits. Back at Apex, the new policies rolled out. Flexible hours let Sarah Klein attend her daughter's recital. David Morse took leave for his wife's recovery. Employees whispered about Lily's miracle, a story that spread like wildfire, softening Apex's cold edges. The stock rebounded. Analysts praising Eleanor's human-centric pivot as a model for corporate America. Eleanor visited Claire daily, bringing Lily homework help and stories of Ava, forging a bond beyond the corporate. One evening, in Claire's hospital room, Lily hugged Eleanor fiercely. You're like family now, she said. Eleanor's heart, once ice, melted completely, Ava's laughter blending with Lily's in her mind. She saw Michael's gentle smile, urging her forward. You saved me, Lily, Eleanor whispered. You showed me how to live again. Claire, stronger each day, added. You gave us a future. Thank you. Apex Dynamics transformed. The wellness program launched, offering childcare and mental health support. Eleanor established a fund in Ava's name, covering medical emergencies for employees' families. Richard Voss resigned, his coup a distant memory. Olivia Crane transferred, her influence gone. Eleanor kept Ava's stuffed giraffe on her desk, a reminder of why she fought. Lily returned to school, her braid neat again, but her courage was a legend. Claire's recovery was slow but steady, her laughter returning with Lily's. As spring bloomed in Chicago, Eleanor stood with Lily and Claire at a company picnic, employees' children playing nearby. The skyline sparkled, no longer a fortress but a beacon. Lily's love had saved her mother, redeemed Eleanor, and reshaped an empire. Sometimes, miracles walk through glass doors on a 12-year-old's trembling legs, proving that courage and love can change the world, one heart at a time. Lily Bennett's story teaches us that love and courage can shatter even the strongest barriers, transforming loss into hope and redemption into action. At 12, she faced a corporate fortress, armed only with her mother's resume and a heart full of devotion. Her audacity not only saved Claire but awakened Eleanor Hart, a woman whose grief had built an empire of ice. Eleanor's transformation from a ruthless CEO to a leader who valued humanity shows that our deepest wounds can become our greatest strengths when we choose to heal through helping others. Lily's miracle reminds us that no obstacle is too big when driven by love, and no heart is too broken to mend when touched by hope. This story challenges us to look at our own lives. What fortresses do we face? What fears hold us back from fighting for those we love? Lily didn't wait for permission, she acted, proving that even the smallest voice can change the world. Eleanor didn't cling to her pain, she let it guide her to purpose, rebuilding Apex in the name of her lost daughter, Ava. Their journey shows that miracles aren't magic. They're the result of relentless hope and selfless action. Now it's your turn. Share Lily's story with someone who needs hope, someone facing their own impossible fight. Let her courage inspire you to act, whether it's supporting a loved one, advocating for change, or simply listening to someone's pain. Every gesture counts. Just as Lily's brave steps through Apex's doors sparked a revolution. Reach out today, because love doesn't wait, and miracles need help to start. Drop a heart below if you believe in the power of courage, and let's spread this message. No matter how dark the moment, love can light the way. Act now, make a difference for someone you cherish. And together, we can build a world where every Lily finds her miracle.